G'day legends, absolutely stoked to be sharing the latest Neuro audio plugin with you, X-Rack Pro. Now this is a multi-effects processing plugin that contains pretty much everything you need to start pulling awesome sounds in your mixes. So let's check it out. So this is X-Rack Pro and it's broken up into 5 sections. We've got Saturate, Dynamics, Tone, Modulate, and Maximize. And within each of these sections, you get multiple options for the modules. So in the saturation section, we've got bus saturation, drive, we've got N strip, A strip, 2-inch tape, cassette. There's a tone slider, there's a meter that shows how much saturation is being applied, and there's also a trim. And you'll find the trim on each of these sections so that you can really make sure as you go through the plugin that you can keep the levels consistent. And down the bottom, this is our saturate slider where we can really apply how much saturation is happening. Same with the dynamic section, we have multiple types of compression. Down the bottom, we have the compression knob, and by turning this up, we apply more compression. We also have a color knob. By turning this up, we apply more color to the compression, or we can remove some color if we want. There's also the ability to shape the transient. By pushing this up, you can see we add more transient to the signal. Pulling it back the other way, we remove the transient from the beginning of the signal. And you can further shape the transient with the shape knob. The tone section is where we apply EQ, and switching between the different modules will add different shapes to the EQ curves. Down the bottom, we have 6 sliders that control the EQ. You can also click and drag up here, but you can also click and drag down here. You can also change the frequency range of that slider by clicking and dragging the dot around. High pass and low pass filters. And down the bottom, you've got 3 options. You can have a post EQ, which is where it's sitting in the chain at the moment, or you can do pre, which will put the EQ before everything, or you can put it post, which will put it after everything. The modulation section has 5 different modes of modulation. Down the bottom, turning up the modulation knob increases the amount of modulation, and then playing with the depth also increases the amount of the effect as well. The drift knob is an awesome effect for creating more stereo width with the signal. And in our maximize section, we have multiple types of maximizers: OTT, massive, tight, open, and crush. And there's a unique multiband processor. You can set the frequency range for the mids and the highs, and then you can increase the amount of the effect by pushing up the multi slider. And you can also fine tune the effect by dialing it in with the percentage slider above each of the bands. You also have the option to apply a soft or hard clipper at the end of the maximizer. It's got input and output trims, and that's everything you need to know. If after you watch this video, you want to try out X-Rack Pro for yourself, there will be a link in the description below. Head over to Neuro Audio's website and give it a try. And at the time of making this video for the release of X-Rack Pro, there's a special introductory price running through the Black Friday sale, so make sure you take advantage of that. What's really great about X-Rack Pro is it comes with a ton of awesome presets. They give you really great starting points. First of all, I want to show you what this mix sounds like with all of the instances of X-Rack Pro that I've applied, and then we're going to take them off so you can see just how powerful this plugin is. That's a massive difference, and it sounds really nice. It's really cleaned the mix up, added some nice excitement to it. So first of all, I've got this on the mix bus right here, and this is on the mix bus wake up preset. Wake up and can't get out of bed. Too many thoughts running through my head. Time's moving fast now, wish it would slow. So that mix bus wake up preset is awesome at just taking out some of that mid-range mud, making the mix sound a little bit more open and more exciting. So I've got a whole bunch of instances of X-Racks running over the drum sound here. Have a listen to what it sounds like when we turn these off and on. So it's making the drum sound huge. So I'm gonna play back the drums and skip through some of these drum bus presets so you can hear just how cool these sound. So there's some really cool sounds in there. I love that old radio effect. That would be great for just like a transitional effect in a song. super Travis Barker. So you can see I have the full kit crispy bus, but I've tweaked it a little bit. So I've changed the compressor and I've added the maximizer and just very slightly tweaked the EQ. You can see I've got a hard clipper on the end. I've pushed the maximizer up, tiny bit of multiband processing, and then changed the compressor module to glue. I just like the way that it kind of grabbed the drums a bit more. That's bringing those drums to life, so good. Okay, so this is the parallel processing bus for the drums. I've called it the crush bus, and basically we're just adding the cassette saturation. I just love the grittiness of it, and I'm using the Opto X for my compressor. Now I'm gonna crank these up a little bit so you can really hear what they sound like, but this is what it sounds like currently. That just sounds really cool. Okay, so there's some really great presets in here for acoustic guitar. And acoustic guitar can sometimes be a bit of a challenge to mix. And when I flicked through these presets, I just thought, these are some really great starting points. So have a listen to what I've got here at the moment. This is really making it sound nice and crisp and clear, and it just sits in this mix really nicely. So let me flick through some of these acoustic presets for you. So you can hear there's some great presets there. Some of them are kind of subtle and they just help lift the sound up and just make it sound a little bit nicer. And some of them are a little bit more extreme, which is what you need sometimes in a dense mix. So my starting point was the acoustic guitar Airy Crush preset. And you can see as we compared this, I made a couple little changes. Sort of cut a little bit more mids out, just a tiny bit of extra compression, and that's it. Sounds awesome. So here's my bass tone that I dialed in as well. Now you can see I started with the bass round preset, but you can see when we compare back to the original, I've made quite a few changes. So this works really well, and it's just so easy to just dial all of this stuff in the one place. Let's flick through a few bass presets as well. There's some really great settings in there, and likewise with the electric guitar, there's some great presets here as well. Super cool, and I love some of those ones with the modulation where you can get that really swirling effect. Just great stuff to make your track sound really interesting. So I actually started with the extra beefy preset, and then I made some tweaks, added a bit of a high pass filter, a bit of modulation, just a couple little tweaks to the sound. So I think that sounds really nice. So check this out on the vocal bus, because this is doing some real magic to clean up the vocals and just make them sit on the mix so you can hear every word really clearly. When you take this off, the vocals are really bouncing around a bit, and they've already got some processing on them. They've already got a bit of EQ, a bit of compression, and this is just cleaning them right up.
On a one-way train that's going nowhere, and everyone just smiles like they don't care. But I care where this ends, and I'm the only one who's getting in my way. So I'm gonna take care of myself.
So that's just awesome. It's cleaning the vocal up, it's making it sit up the front, it's keeping the compression really level, and it's just making the vocal sound really tidy. All right, so I'll show you one more sound that I dialed in. This is for some shakers. So I've got 2 shakers panned left and right, and I wanted them to sound a lot thicker. So have a listen to this. I think this is pretty cool. So just cranking in a little bit of the end strip saturation, and then using the opto compression just to level this out and make that shaker just really consistent. And then I'm using the high pass and low pass filters to dial in that kind of darker sound. And I love how this sounds with the drums now that it's a bit thicker. Just quickly, let me show you the different modulation modes here, because these are really cool. So I love all of those modulation modes, and I just love how they make a sound a little bit more interesting. All right, one last time, before and after, with and without X-Track Pro in the mix. Let's check it out.
Wake up and can't get out of bed. Too many thoughts running through my head. Time's moving fast now, wish it would slow down. Now all my days blur into one. Stuck in this routine, stuck in this rut. But ignorance just comes so easy. Because the
It's just ridiculous how good that sounds and how easy it is to dial in a sound. So I love plugins like this where everything's right there. You can really just dial a sound in quickly. I think that's awesome when you just want to kind of get creative and just work quickly. Stuff like this is amazing. And as I mentioned before, if you want to try out X-Track Pro for yourself, there's a link in the description below. Head over to Neuro Audio's website and check it out for yourself. If you guys enjoy the content on this channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support this channel, check out the link in the description below to my website. Go and grab yourself a mixing course or a sample pack. Grabbing that stuff is a massive support for the time it goes into making videos. If you're keen to check out one of my mixing courses, check out this next video coming up.